What's up, guys? It is Sam here, and today I have a very exciting video for you based on the stock of Qualcomm. So Qualcomm is a stock that I basically just did a few stories on Instagram. We got a kind of nearly overwhelming to do a video on this. And I must declare first off, it is a stock that I do own, and I do think it's going to be a very, very good performer in the future. So I'm going to get into a little bit of detail about what Qualcomm is, and what kind of areas they're involved in, what parts of the world their company does business in. Just like if they're involved in like automotive, they're involved in Android phones, they're involved in like data storage, data processing, AI, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to kind of cover a brief kind of overview of what Qualcomm is, a bit of the price action that it's been doing as well, and we'll just see like if this is actually a fit for yourself. If you think it's a good stock, you might want to look into it yourself. And just remember, like, what we do on here, it's not financial advice at all, so you do have to just make up your own decision like when you are looking at these kind of stocks. So like, it is a stock position that we do own, does not necessarily mean that you should own it too. So just always think about that. Like, so look, guys, remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps out an awful lot. We're really getting towards 500 now at this point. We're getting a lot more subscribers than we ever thought we would have done in the month of January, and we really hope we can get to 500 as quickly as possible. So guys, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So guys, you've probably heard of Qualcomm before. Like, you know what it is from a very brief understanding. You know that it's like the semiconductor company that basically does a lot of chips, but maybe not necessarily what for. So it does a lot of chips for a lot of different for Androids, does it for some automotives that is now becoming more and more prevalent, which we'll get into more later on. They also do a lot of like data storage, data processing, Internet of Things, all that kind of stuff. So they are actually split their company into three different sectors. So it's Qualcomm CDMA Technologies, which is QCT for short, Qualcomm Technology Licensing for QTL for short, and Qualcomm Strategic Initiatives for QSI for short. So this is basically where they do work for integrated circuits and for systems to do with 3G, 4G, and obviously now 5G. So 5G is becoming a very huge thing in the coming years, and Qualcomm, I think, is going to be one of the biggest players in this space for making chips and making it's essentially modems that can make this Wi-Fi go a lot further around the world as quickly as possible. So I think they're going to be a very intricate player, and they are definitely the one that you need to be watching. So you kind of watch Qualcomm to see how 5G is expanding. You can actually just get a rough idea of how the whole market of 5G is expanding itself. So I think they're literally are one of the most important companies when it comes to 5G. They're also involved in automotives, which is obviously going to be more and more important over time. As you're looking at Tesla, they're looking at automotives. They obviously have chips inside their cars, and they use it for autonomy, which is going to be the be-all and end-all of where companies are going with this. So you're going to have autonomy come on, where you're going to have basically just robot cars driving around everywhere. And I think Qualcomm are going to be a company that will be able to take advantage of this coming. They'll be having them in the cars and be able to literally have so much profit will become of that. So if you make good, long-standing business partnerships in that space, you're going to make a crazy amount of money. So that's kind of a little bit of a brief overview of what they're doing, and a couple of the markets that they are going after, as well as automotives, is the metaverse. So the metaverse, Qualcomm is never really thrown into the question when you're talking about metaverse stocks to go for it, but I can tell you that it actually is. It is a stock that you need to be thinking about when you're looking at the metaverse. So the metaverse, as I probably said in my previous videos, which I'll link up in the top left of the end of the internet. So the metaverse is coming. It's coming very, very quickly. It's coming a lot faster than we think it really is. So Qualcomm is going to be a company that is going to be involved in this. So when you're thinking about 5G is the speed of the internet. So it's going to be a lot faster than 4G. It's going to provide what we need for 5G. It's going to provide what we need to basically create the metaverse. So you're putting on your glasses or whatever, and you can be wherever you want. So it's going to have seamless integration with your headsets, and to make you be able to touch, taste, smell inside the metaverse. So this is a point that is never really even thought about with Qualcomm. it's a crazy thing that it's not even mentioned, it's not talked about, but it is. They are a major player, like, so it's coming from the 5G part of their business, and it's going to become more and more relevant. So I think they're a huge player in this area, and I think that's why it makes them such an appealing stock, and especially at the valuations that they're at right now, it's absolutely crazy to not even look at this stock. So that is like the brief synopsis of why I'm going to get looking at Qualcomm, why I've already purchased shares already. So guys, I'm just briefly going to kind of go over what has happened with Qualcomm over the last quarter, which their numbers are absolutely through. So it's absolutely crazy return on revenue that they've gotten this year compared to other years. So look, we're going to get straight into this. Like, so from last year, they've grown from 55% from last year for revenues, from 21.7 to 33.5 billion, operating income of 5.9 billion to 11.8 billion, earnings per share, which is actually very important in this market, which I'll explain straight after this, but it's 104% from last year. So that's absolutely crazy earnings growth. So basically what's been happening over the last few weeks, like you might have seen a lot of the high multiple stocks, high growth stocks, they've all started turning into a bear market, which is pretty crazy. So a lot of people are actually now looking towards earnings stocks that have earnings on the board, have less risk. They're trying to put money into these kind of stocks, so they're not exposing themselves to higher interest rates coming in over the next year or so. So that's why they're looking more so at stocks like Qualcomm. You might even see like the financials been doing very well. Berkshire Hathaway's been doing very well over the last few while. But even the FANG stocks, like the Facebook, the Amazons and stuff, like they've actually kind of stuttered really. They haven't really been fantastic. Apple probably the best performer, but yeah. So these kind of stocks are becoming more of a safe haven for people. So these kind of things are very important in the market that we have right now. So yeah, more so as we're going here, we're looking at what their products are extending in. The RF front end is extending in, so that's basically their chips and stuff. Automotive is obviously going to increase 51% this year, but it's going to get massive. It's going to get more and more prominent, like, and especially with the acquisition of the Swedish automotive for automatic driving, for autonomous driving. Sorry, the Swedish company that they recently acquired of Veneur. So that's a big purchase for them. It's going to expand this revenue massively, and also they're getting into the Internet of Things, like obviously huge revenue increase there of 67%. So yeah, look, they're absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy revenue growth. Like, so yeah, as you're seeing, like, we have diversification of handsets, RF front end, automotive, and Internet of Things. So yeah, $27 billion of revenue. Well, it's absolutely fantastic. And the diversification is so important as well these days, that you're not reliant on one specific industry. I know handsets are making up a huge part of it, like, but they make up a huge part of Apple as well. So operating expenses, operating margin expansion. So margin up 9. That's also very good. So a couple of things that they also wanted to, on the conference call, they wanted to talk about, like, is basically the ESG network. So they wanted to make sure that they're actually coming down to net zero of emissions. So that's something that they want to achieve by 2040. So this is kind of a little bit about that. 5G handsets shipments, all fantastic, all growing massively. Android scale of handsets, 85% and 87%. So yeah, growing again. Revenue growth opportunity in QCT handsets. Yeah, absolutely. You can see that happening. Absolutely, especially with the additions of 4 and 5G. These are massive increases. So yeah, handsets, automotive, Internet of Things. Yeah, all the things that we've already kind of discussed. So absolutely, yeah, it's absolutely great. Look, there's nothing that I don't really see any issues with what's been going on here. Like, there's a thing that really is getting in the back of my head that I can't stop thinking about when I'm thinking about Qualcomm, and it is just like the metaverse. So like the opportunity that they have for the metaverse, like, is absolutely crazy. They've already been named. Basically, the Snapdragon XR, which is one of their flagship products, has been named basically as the #1 to connect the physical world to the digital world. So it's not really mentioned too much yet here, but it's going to become more and more prominent in their company as we go further on. Just as we know, like, things at the moment are not really taking shape as much as they possibly will do in the future. So yeah, their core businesses, like they're coming from the chip, coming from the exposure to automotives, and now they're exposure to the metaverse, exposure to handsets, cellular, Wi-Fi, 5G. It's all looking very, very, very promising for Qualcomm in the next few years. So yeah, there's kind of a little bit what I wanted to touch, like just a little bit about what their model is, what they're exposed to, what they're getting involved in, and like, look, this is also a very exciting opportunity. Like the digital chassis of cars. Absolutely, yeah. Look, it's very, very exciting. The metaverse, very, very exciting. We know their standard business that they're doing is just the chips for Wi-Fi's and phones. Like, I don't really see any issues here whatsoever with Qualcomm's basic diversification of its products. Like, so yeah, look, absolutely fantastic. And we'll move on to financial. So guys, here we have is Qualcomm's financial statements basically of the last quarter that they had. So yeah, they have fantastic revenues of 9.3 billion, which beat their own estimates. They've upped their guidance for the next quarter to 10 to 10.8 billion, which is also just an increase massively from the year before. Yeah, look, their revenues broken down by department. QCT revenues, well, also beating, and again for next, absolutely fantastic. So what we want to actually really look at is the cash. So total cash they have on the balance sheet is 12.4 billion. This increase from 11.2 billion from the year before, which is yeah, pretty good. Total assets that they have 41 billion. 0.2 to 35.6 from last year. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Stockholder equity also increased. Debt is also remained around the same. Is remained the same. Like, so yeah, maybe they're not paying down the debt. Maybe a thing of concern. They're actually not paying down debt as fast as potentially like them to do. So maybe one part of concern. So yeah, revenue for the fourth quarter 2021. Revenue of 9.3 billion, fantastic. Net income of 2.798 billion. So this is a this is a really good profit margin. This is a really good profit margin company. So it's absolutely fantastic. Like, an earnings per share of $2 per share. So yeah, look, total year we are looking at 33.5 billion revenue, net income of 9 billion and 9.043. Diluted earnings per share of 7.87, which is, yeah, fantastic earnings per share. As I talked about before, a lot of people are looking for these stocks that now are also have very good earnings as they look to flee from high growth stocks. Stocks that don't have any earnings on the board at the current moment. So you're it's just absolutely fantastic results. Like, so you're looking at the 2020 results, like 23 billion to 33.5. So big increase there. Net income nearly doubled as well. Absolutely fantastic. Earnings per share nearly doubled well. So yeah, look, absolutely fantastic. Like, these results were very good, and you're buying a very high quality company here. They're not one of these high risk stocks that you're looking at. Like, they're a high quality company that you're getting here. So it's just absolutely fantastic results, and I think they're going to have a massive growth and take hold of the 5G revolution. Like, so yeah, nothing really too much I wanted to touch on there. I'm going to just go look at the statistics and stuff, like just look up the ratios and just basically get in. Do you think this is a good valuation for this stock at the moment? So guys, this is literally Qualcomm's price action that's been happening over the last while. So we can look at it in the last month. So pretty much no real gain in the last month or so, but the last 6 months have been extremely good to Qualcomm. So from 141 to 180, which is a pretty good gain. So like, as I mentioned, I started buying it basically on this downward stripe here, around 130, and bought it. Basically, it's still, and after this news broke, for 166, and I kind of left my position at that. But that's the buying that I have done. And look, if it does have weakness again, like, I will add to this stock. Like, no doubt, I will add more and more to Qualcomm, providing that there is weakness. And I think even at the moment, like, it's not that expensive. So you're looking at the ratios here. So you've got a trailing PE of around 23, which is below the market average at the moment. So we're looking nearly towards 30 at the moment as the average for the S&P 500. And to the forward PE then is 17. So it's actually a reduction. So you'd like to see that. You'd like to see a reduction in a forward PE. So it shows more profitability is coming over the next 12 months or so. So that's extremely good. Price of sales pretty low, obviously, when you're looking at like the crazy high multiple stocks. Like, the price of sales is crazy. PEG ratio. So generally, if you're looking at a metric and if you Google PEG ratio, it basically says anything over 1 is expensive. So around 1, yeah, look, it's pretty fair value really for this stock. So yeah, look, that's pretty good. All really good. yeah, look, the 50-week low is 122, like, and I bought it in around 130 originally, and up to 106. 50-week high 193. So look, it's a bit off. It's a bit off there. It's around 15% off its 52-week high. And yeah, look, absolutely fantastic. We already went through all this kind of stuff as well. So look, we'll just have a quick look at what the growth rate is expected for this. So yeah, look, here you have the growth rates. Like, so for the current year 2022, you're expecting an 18% growth rate and a 7.9% for the year after. Like, so look, I don't think this is going to happen as quickly, as substantial as this. Like, I won't be surprised they beat this, coming with over 20%. This is definitely going to be over 10. No doubt. I think it's going to be over 10% for revenue growth for Qualcomm. And it's just going to be that's based on the facts that it has, like, just the 5G, and it also has the metaverse opportunity ahead of it. Like, so look, this is just a brief little look at what the statistics are and analysis is like for the growth rates of Qualcomm. So my final thoughts on this are that this is an absolutely screaming buy, in my opinion. Like, so I think this is an absolutely great opportunity for this company. They have a fantastic market that they're going after, where it be in automotives, be it in cellular devices, be it in the metaverse, which I think is a thing that's not even really recognized with them yet. So look, I think this is an absolutely fantastic company. You're not paying over the odds. The PE ratios are in check. It's around fair value at the moment, and I think it's a company that you definitely need to really have a think about, have a look at, maybe consider adding into your portfolio. But look, again, this is not financial advice by any means. So look, obviously do your own research when looking into these things. And guys, look, just remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I hope you really enjoyed this video. I hope it kind of gave you a bit of perspective on what Qualcomm is doing and where they're going over the next few years. And remember, also check out our sponsor, which is 35mm Vintage. Check out all these links down below in the description, and you'll find also you can get your opportunity to get some free Bitcoin as well, also down there too. So thanks guys for this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.